you're given the challenge to write an equation of a line that's parallel to y equals 1/2 x plus 3 and goes through this point. So you're being asked to write an equation for a line that is parallel. That means it has this slope. So you're being asked to write the equation of a line that has a slope of 1/2 and goes through this point, 2, 9. So it has the slope of 1/2 and goes through the point 2, 9. And what you have here is a description of how two different students, Jillian and Ramses, approached this challenge. So here's what Jillian did. Jillian says, I know that since the lines are parallel, the new line is a translation of the old line. I can substitute the x value from 2, 9 into this equation to get the point on the pre-image. So what Jillian does is she takes the x from up here and she plugs it in. That's what she's doing here. She's plugging in the 2 from right here, right there. And then 1/2 times 2 equals 1, and 1 plus 3 is 4. So she calculated that if she simplifies this, that comes out to y equals 4. And that tells her that the point of the new line is going to be going through 2, 4, because the x value stays the same and she calculated the y value. So she gets this point right here from this and this. Okay? And she also notices going from 2, 4 to 2, 9 is a translation up 5. So she realizes that to go from 4 to 9 is a translation of up 5. And so she figures out that if you take your original equation, this original equation, and add 5 to it, right, like right here, that these two numbers are going to get added together to make 8. So she figures out that the new equation is y equals 1/2 x plus 8. Okay. So that's Jillian's process. Okay. There's also Ramses' process. So Ramses follows a different method, but look, they both get the same answer. Their answer, the same. They come up with the same equation. Okay? So let's look at Ramses' method. To write the equation of the line, all I need to know is the slope formula. Slope is subtract the y's over subtract the x's. Rise over run. I used m equal to 1/2 right here and plugged in 2 and 9 for x and y. So he said slope equals y minus 9 from here, and then for the denominator has x minus 2 from here. Okay? And then he rearranges the equation to write it in general form. So he takes 2 times this and 1 times this. So he takes 2 times x minus 9, and he takes 1 times x minus 2, and then sets up an equation. So let me get rid of this. So 2 times y minus 9 right here equals 1 times this. So 1 times this stays the same. And then it's simplifying. So the first thing he did is he divided both sides by 2. So when he divided this side by 2 and this side by 2, these two 2's became 1 and disappeared. So he has y minus 9. And then these things each got divided by 2 or multiplied by 1/2. So here's the 1/2, and then here's the x minus 2. And then he added 9 onto both sides to get the y by itself, and added 9. And then distributed, and then simplified. See, the -1 plus 9 equals 8. All right, so they both got the same answer. Which way do you like better? So if you had to do this, would you use Jillian's method, or would you use Ramsey's method? Okay. After this lesson, you can have a third choice, which is Ms. Besk's method. But for now, choose between Jillian or Ramsey. Explain which way you like best and why. Okay? There's not one right answer. This is completely your preference. So describe which student's method you like best and why. So here's the Ms. Besk method. So what I do first, so we want the equation of a line parallel to this that goes through these lines, this point, I mean. So I know some things. I know the slope, I know an x, and I know a y. All right? And to write my equation, I know that I need y equals mx plus b. And I just need to be able to plug in an m, and I need to be able to plug in a b. I know the m. So all I need to know is I need to know the b. All right? So you might be saying, what? You already know an m, an x, and a y? Yes, I do. Because this number right here is the slope. Boom. I know the m. And these numbers right here are an x and a y. X, y. X, y. So now what I do is I plug in everything I know into this equation. So I know y equals m times x plus b. And since I don't know the b, I just put plus b. So y equals m times x plus b. All right. Here you go. Bring down your 5. Multiply your two numbers together. Bring down your plus b. And we want to find out what b is, so we need to get it alone. Subtract 3 from both sides so that these turn into 0. Choop, choop, choop. And we have 5 minus 3 is 2 equals b. Problem solved. We now know that b equals 2. So check it out, my beautiful, wonderful, happy people. We know a b is 2. We know our m is -3. So we can write our equation. Y equals mx plus b. Problem solved. All right, let's test this and make sure that this line and this line are actually parallel. Let's look at it in Desmos. Check it out. Our original line was negative y equals negative 3x minus 1. That's the red line. Our new line is y equals negative 3x plus 2. They are indeed parallel. So we successfully answered the question.